Dan Willis here, and in this video we're going to talk about what is a judgment. A judgment means that you are either being sued for payment on a debt or you've been sued and found responsible for a debt. Um, you really need, if you're being sued, like if you're in that process, it is imperative that you show up to court to defend yourself, even if you can't make payment, even, no matter what the circumstances are. And if you can't show up, contact them and reschedule, get a new court date. Because if you don't show up, you're going to get a default judgment. And a default judgment, once that hits your credit report, it is devastating to your credit score. I mean, it's one of the worst items to have on your credit score. So, by all means, try to avoid that happening uh, any way you can. And oftentimes, just showing up, you might be able to, they might not have a valid case to actually win against you and find you responsible. Depending on where you live, if you get a judgment, you could have your wages garnished, like money taken directly out of your paycheck. It's really important that you know your rights when it comes to debt and dealing with these debt collection agencies. There's a piece of law, it's called the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and that regulates how collection agencies can behave, like what time they can contact you, what they can do, whether or not they can actually sue you in a court of law. It also puts a time limit on how long you're legally responsible for a debt. Like, please review that. And just because it's a law, the collection agencies do not follow it. Not all the collection agencies, at least. The FTC, or the Federal Trade Commission, is regularly issuing massive fines, every year for violation of this law. Uh, and the process of like getting a judgment is usually like a credit card account will get charged off, and then it'll get sold to a collection agency. A few collection agencies will have it, and then they're going to eventually sue you for the debt. There's reports of people being sued and getting judgments for, I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive less than $100, which seems absolutely absurd. And it is going to just tank your credit score if you get a judgment on your credit report, even if it's for less than $100 or a minor judgment. Just try to avoid that at all costs. This is Dan Willis for yourbadcreditcard.net, and we have a free report. It's called this. Well, it's the 7 super simple steps to getting clean credit. Again, that's yourbadcreditcard.net, and grab a copy of your free report that we created. It's the 7 super simple steps to getting a clean credit report. And you can also find us on Facebook and on Google Plus under Dan Willis. Have a great afternoon, and please don't just live with a judgment or get a judgment. This is something that can be avoided and can be fixed if you have made some mistakes. You don't just have to live with it. So please take action, protect yourself, and visit yourbadcreditcard.net and grab our free report for you.